What it do, YouTube? B. Kelly back again with another banger. Today's video is going to be about Brian Banks. I know most of you guys don't know who Brian Banks is, but he was a high school football star at Polytechnic High School in California. But he was accused of rape, falsely accused of rape, because he was innocent. He was committed to USC, but he could never play there. He spent almost 6 years in prison and 5 years on strict custody parole. In his high school career, he was teammates with many great players such as Deshaun Jackson, Darnell Bing, Winston Justice, and Mercedes Lewis. He was even named Rivals.com's Juniors to Watch of the class of 2003 before he was expelled from school due to the rape accusations. After he was proven not guilty by the court system, after his sentence, he got tryouts from several NFL teams such as the Chiefs, Chargers, 49ers, and the Seattle Seahawks, which oddly enough, their head coach Pete Carroll actually gave Banks the scholarship in 2002, as he was the head coach of USC at the time. But Banks didn't make it past minicamp with any of those teams. But April 3rd, 2013, Brian Banks signs with the Atlanta Falcons, and he actually even got to play in the preseason too. He made his debut against the Cincinnati Bengals where he picked up 2 tackles. He did play in all 4 preseason games with the Falcons, but he was released right before the season started on August 30th, 2013. But in 2014, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell asked Brian if he could speak at the 2014 NFL Draft Rookie Synopsis. He accepted it and his speech was very well received, and a few weeks later, he was hired to join the NFL Department of Operations. Now let's talk about the accusation he faced. In the summer of 2002, Banks was arrested and charged after classmate Juanetta Gibson falsely accused him of dragging her into a stairway at Polytechnic High School and raping her. Banks actually faced 41 years to a life sentence, but he accepted a plea deal that included 5 years in prison and 5 years of probation and registering as a sex offender. Juanetta Gibson and her mother sued the Long Beach Unified School District, claiming the Poly campus was not safe at all, and they won $1.5 million. But in 2011, Gibson contacted Banks on Facebook, met with him, and admitted in the presence of an attorney that she had fabricated the story. But to make the story even juicier, Banks secretly recorded Gibson's confession, but she would later refuse to tell prosecutors that she had lied, so she wouldn't have to return any of the money that she and her family won in the court. Also to mention, Banks had the help of the California Innocence Project on his side. In case you don't know what that is, it is a non-profit out of San Diego that investigates and litigates cases of factual innocence. On May 24th of 2012, Banks was released from his sex offender status and released of all of his charges prior. And after Banks was proven not guilty, the Long Beach Unified School District announced it was suing Juanetta Gibson for $2 million in an effort to recoup the $1.5 million she received. But the school district actually won $2.6 million in the judgment against Gibson. And today it seems like Gibson is out and hiding, as she has missed a lot of her recent court dates. But to make everyone feel better about this story about Brian Banks, he has a movie coming out about his life and this story, coming out August the 9th in 2019.